Hi, I'm with Imani Sarando from Ipswich Suffolk, and we're here to discuss health and wellbeing event
Hi. Hi,
topic.
Kerry.
Hi, I'm Kerry Mussington from the Mind Over Matter project, Mental Health Awareness, Suicide Prevention, and it's beneficial that we bring people together to see what is available for the community with their health and wellbeing, with their problems. Imani, what do you have for us today?
Well, thanks, Kerry, for inviting me on. As well as being a qualified holistic health practitioner with my own business, I also volunteer in the community as part of Suffolk Black Community Forum Health and Wellbeing group. And we're a group of volunteers like everybody else, wanting to make a difference in Suffolk and the lives of people around us. And after the whole George Floyd murder, we came together to say, enough is enough. What can we do to address some of these health inequalities? So here I am.
Yeah, what I know you're going to bring us about this product that you've got going on today, and I can share that with you. And then I don't want to get sidetracked from that big event that you've got coming up.
Yeah.
But I do want to ask you a few questions. Is that all right?
Sure.
All right. So health and wellbeing. What are the barriers that you have faced helping the community?
I mean, it's been a challenge because, we are volunteers. So obviously we're giving up time outside of work time. Some of the barriers at the moment with the whole COVID and lockdown is having to go virtual because obviously people can't meet in the same way anymore in groups in the community centres that we used to put on events. So it's been a steep learning curve to offer all our stuff online now. But people are slowly getting around to the idea. I think that's the main barrier. The other barrier is we have to collaborate a lot more with other groups and organizations to make sure we are really reaching, the Black community as well as the wider community. Anyone who's really experiencing health inequalities, we want to be able to reach them and engage them.
Do you find it a silent world when trying to deal with other people that are doing pretty much the same? Because I feel that you are one person, aren't you? You know?
I think the challenge is, I think for small organizations and voluntary groups is that sometimes we get a bit clingy with these are my clients, these are my, if I share and collaborate, someone's going to steal my idea, someone's going to steal my, my project. And I'm trying to work with the group to say we have to collaborate, we have to network, and we have to share time and resources so that we can reach the maximum amount of people in Suffolk.
Yeah, you've been working for Ipswich Suffolk for many, many, many years. You're a very talented family that you come from as well. But yeah, I don't think you're recognised enough for the work that you actually do, Imani.
It's a bit quiet. I'm a silent soldier. I'm a silent
Yeah,
soldier,
but
Kerry.
are people intimidated from you because you seem that you've got, and this is the thing, you know what you're doing, you've got it together, but you in the background there are probable flaws. You know what I mean? We've all got flaws, and so you've got this persona
Absolutely.
that Marnie knows what she's doing.
I mean, anyone who comes on my courses will know my life story. I was a teenage mom, I was on single mom, I was on benefits. We all have a journey and a story, but I think that has made me who I am. That has helped shape who I am, and also it's helped me to learn some strategies, life-saving strategies around health and well-being that I can help others with.
Yeah, you know where to guide someone, you know
Yeah,
how to implement healthy options.
yeah.
And it's not that you're sitting, very much similar to myself. We go out there, we're raising awareness, we're trying to find those and offer those solutions to people. Just let me just do a broad scale of exactly what you have done for the community over the years.
My
Because when
gosh.
you've been at an event, I've been there and you've been there, but you've been putting it on. So the kind of events you put on, you did the Windrush, didn't you?
Yeah, still
You
part
know,
of the Windrush committee. I mean, I started, to be honest, when I was in my late teens
mm,
as a volunteer. I started a group with a few others called Black Focus.
mhm.
Then recently it turned to Suffolk African History Collective. And then we decided to merge all the groups, all the groups that want to come on board and create Suffolk Black Community Forum, so that people aren't so precious and cliquey about their organizations. It's a collaboration, and that allows people to kind of share resources and stuff. So I've been kind of doing this work till my late 18s, really, to be honest, doing confidence building courses, meditation classes, healthy eating, working with other organizations like Caribou and the Health Support Forum, Caribbean and African Health Support Forum, just to make sure we put on Black Health Days annually. I'm running a mindfulness course with Caribou for the women, because everyone is really quite stressed at the moment.
Yeah, you're full on. And the thing is, there is Imani. Imani is Imani, but Imani she's doing all of this work for the community, but you're managing your health as well. And you're going to come back again, aren't you? Because you're going to actually talk about the womb.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about my own business when I'm back, really. My actual, setting up my own business and KMT Rising and womb wellness and fibroids, which is a massive issue in our community right now. But yeah, this particular session was around a particular event that the Suffolk Black Community Forum are putting on Tuesday.
Yep. So, and that is this one right here, right? That one right there. Walking our way to wellness, reducing the risk of musculoskeletal disorder within our community. As you can see, it's the 23rd of February, 2021 at 7:30 to 8:15. Now, unable to really read the small print, where can they find?
Yep.
I will put a link at the top of anything that goes out on the media as well, but is there a contact telephone number that they can discuss a little bit?
Yeah, people can call me on 07909 516343. They can also go on the website www.suffolkblackcommunity.com. Yeah, this is an amazing physiotherapist called Ryan Johnson. He's a guest speaker that day, and he's going to be talking about ways to reduce musculoskeletal problems in our community, because we're not as active as we used to be, but also we're not sitting correctly, we're not walking correctly. There are posture issues, and it's actually letting a lot of people go off work for hours in a week. They're losing work. So employers are losing employees because of back problems, because we're just not applying. We don't know the correct way to walk and the correct way to sit.
If we're going to be sitting here we are now working on a laptop. Yeah. My postures, I'm sitting on a sofa, but my posture could be like that. That's going to be terrible for my back,
Absolutely.
So I get the benefit about this. So this event is put on by Eventbrite, yeah?
So, well, it's put on by the Suffolk Black Community Forum, but if anyone calls me or goes on the website, they'll be sent a link. Yeah, they can go to Eventbrite and just type in "Walking Our Way to Wellness," and they'll be able to get the link. It's a free event, but we welcome donations, anything from £1.
If it's a free event and you want to serve the community, that event, when you go and have that event, that's great. It's a tight little knit of it, but wouldn't be beneficial also if the person came out like you are and projected that out live?
Oh, you mean the guest speaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's more to do with my lack of social media skills, Kerry, that prevents us from doing that sometimes.
Oh,
I'd love to do a guest.
Please don't let it prevent you, because as you said, collaboration means collaboration and supporting each other. It means if somebody knows how to do something, then
exactly.
Hello,
that's exactly the way that we have to work together. If
you need any help and assistance to help the community, then I'm here and I'm willing to help where I can help.
Oh, so, fantastic! Thank you, Kerry.
It's nice to be with you.
Yeah, but thank you for sending out the flyer and getting it out there wider to the community, because a lot of people are suffering with back problems and they need help, they need support.
When I do next awareness. So I'd like to echo this out a little bit more on awareness. So then the flow will be there as well. So that will put it that with more contact details as well.
Yeah.
So when we're finished with the live, I shall echo it out again. I love raising awareness, and that's got to go out worldwide. And yes, you might be, it seems like, okay, it's Suffolk, but not really. You're prompting a memory that, hey, there is a solution here. Suffolk might be doing it, but we can certainly bring it to you online wherever you are around the world. And there's that option as well. I guess that's the benefit about being online.
I mean, yeah, there has been some benefits, Kerry, because some of the recent events that we have put on, we've put on a day around COVID and allowing the community to come and talk about their anxieties and worries about COVID. We put on, you know, some health awareness virtual, and it has reached out to people in the city, Manchester, London as well, which was really pleased about. But yeah, it's Suffolk people serving Suffolk, you know, community, but people are welcome now that it's on online. You know, everybody's welcome.
I think it's amazing what you do for the community, and I got to say to you personally, thank you. I have been able to be alongside near you. Hey, it's not yeah. And you've been, your persona is so, I don't think I've ever seen you be mad. I've never seen you as busy as you've been. I've never seen your composure lost.
To be honest, Kerry, that's been years of training, you know, years of training to practice what I preach about stress management, to be honest. You know what I mean? Because imagine if I'm teaching mindfulness and meditation and then I'm always losing it, you know, that won't give people the confidence to know, hey, this does work, you know. And don't get me wrong, obviously I do have the odd, you know, the odd one. But at the same time, there are techniques that are free of charge and they're easy to apply. And I help people to learn those, you know.
There's whilst we're on here, because you know that we'll go onto the platforms, the suicide prevention platforms. One of the things is a good thing that a lot of people are not very good about a breathing technique. They're not sure. They've heard it, but they don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Can you recommend?
Well, to be honest, it's all to do with the lower abdominal area, you know, and so if anyone was sitting upright and just sitting upright in an upright chair, and they start to breathe in from taking the air down to their lower abdomen, not in the upper chest up here, because this is what is causing the anxiety and the worry. And the reason for that, Kerry, is that when we breathe in the lower stomach, it relaxes the nervous system. There's a nerve there called the vagus nerve. And when you breathe in from the lower abdomen, it starts to relax that vagus nerve. And that vagus nerve links directly to the brain. So it tells the brain, relax. And so that's what then reduces the stress and anxiety and worry. So I teach people these techniques because then it can reduce depression. It can reduce feeling low. It can reduce some of these mental fog that we experience, you know.
Would you like to join me in awareness and breathing techniques for those people that may suffer with instability and diagnosis?
I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, there's a lot of people with a lot of diagnoses within the community.
Yeah, if they know they can catch it early and just breathe their way through it, you know, that would be great. Yeah.
I mean, for myself, I mean, you've watched my journey, some of my journey. I've been quite erratic. In the previous years, I was quite erratic. I think my behaviour, my tone, my love language was quite abrupt, and I hadn't quite mastered how to utilize that negative energy, you know. And I guess that's where I love being. Just, you don't know how I'm smiling, Imani, because it's been many years of me watching. I'm finally sitting beside somebody that I can actually say is a role model.
Oh, bless. Thank you.
I think that, you know, you're incredible, the awareness that you push out. I looked up to you, and I still do look up to you. But I'd like to say that we're neck and neck in doing what we're doing in pushing out. So yeah, bringing together, it's hard because you actually deal with Suffolk, and I wanted to say you actually deal with Suffolk a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that I work with Suffolk enough. So this is an opportunity. and it'd be nice to hear a lot of other people, if they've got promotion, that
yeah, absolutely.
bring it on and talk about
I
it.
mean, we are a small team, and it's not just me. I mean, Shirley Powell heads up the health and wellbeing team, but also there's volunteers. You know, there's people like Bernadette Manners, there's Zylena, there's Nia Gittins, there's other people who are
Name them,
part
my
of
love.
forum.
Go on, name them all out there. Put them all out.
Yeah, they're volunteers. They give up their time to come and work with us to plan events. You know, so yeah, we're going to keep going.
And you know what, this is going to so go on. Probably Ipswich Got Talent, Imani and Kerry Mussington sit side by side, and we're shouting out all of these people that are doers for the community. They don't get recognised enough.
They don't. They're the silent soldiers, you
know. Yeah, but it's and they could do with more help.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we're applying for funding. You know, we want to put on online exercise classes at the moment, so we're receiving funding for that. I'm going to be doing African and Caribbean dance online, because sometimes we go to these exercise classes
with Rosie.
Yeah, well, I teach a Caribbean dance and Rosie teaches African dance, so we're going to just do some stuff together, because when you tap into cultural music and you're exercising, it just makes you just feel so great.
I'd love to be a part of that. I'd love to be involved with that, and definitely, because that's right up my street.
Yeah, just to feel good and exercise at the same time.
It is. So let's refresh, because I really do not want this conversation to end, but we are supposed to be here. Listen, it's still going to happen. I'm still going to be raising the, when I get off of here, it will go live, and I will stream it live to where it needs to go. It will be on all the platforms that is diversity and community.
Fantastic.
and I don't want you to leave. I want to ask more questions about you.
Feel free.
But you know what? We are here, we are here, and this is an opportunity, isn't it? If you had to ask me any questions, what would that be?
I mean, for me, it's about how can Suffolk Black Community Forum work in collaboration so that we can assist people who are experiencing suicidal, issues, or real issues that they need some support with, and maybe there might be some. Because we have a qualified nurse on board, because I'm a holistic health practitioner, there might be things that we can assist with, so it's more about how do we collaborate and do more for the communities that we work with. Workshops, okay.
Absolutely, workshops.
Yeah.
Because, as you see, I've been advertising other people's workshops, because that gives as much. But I'm finding that it's very slow within the community, as if they're just sitting there. Here is the help, but they're just sitting there.
Yeah.
So I can see that, whatever's going on in the community, people are forgetting to look after themselves.
Yeah.
And so these events, these workshops that are being put on, it's more of a say, look, hey, stop, have a bit of me time and do a bit of an MOT.
Yeah.
It's
self-care. It is self-care,
It is. I went on I did a mosaic with
Oh, you did that?
I did. Oh my God.
How was it?
Well, I nominated a place for somebody else who would like to have that experience, and I paid for that experience. And I just thought to myself, how was it? Me time. I put myself up again. I said I will do it at least once a month, because it's me time. And then I have a collection of mosaics that I've created for myself to either put on a plaque or something. I mean, they're already on a plaque, but put them on my wall. But that's what I invested in myself. So I recommend Dion Ibel. I recommend those crafts, and bookings.
I went to see one of her exhibitions. Amazing artists, yeah. And creative art is so therapeutic. I mean, I write poetry. I don't get to share it a lot, but as part of my day-to-day self-care, I journal. I journal and I write, because that allows me to get my thoughts out in a creative way.
Are they private? Is it private, or can somebody read those? No,
I mean, I've got a couple of books that I put together, and I started writing when I was 15, and I had my first book published at 18, because I was a young mum, And that was a great way of me just getting my thoughts out about being a young mom and all the stuff that was going on in Ipswich at the time. So I've kept writing, because I encourage everyone just to keep journaling and put your thoughts down. I mean, yeah, you know, when I perform as poetry, or whenever I'm asked to share, I'll share my work, definitely.
Yeah. See, hidden talents. They're just so okay. So the book's there. So really, I could be like, can I borrow your book? Can I read it out? I could read it out to people because it's education, isn't it? So
Yeah, there's a
I'm all
book
about
called
that.
Pulse Rock. That's my earlier one. Oh gosh, people would walk that walk about the challenges I face as a young mom, and you know, the levels of challenge, about the judgments and the stigma about being a teenage mom, and how that was impacting on me. You know, and also my search for an identity as well. You know, growing up in Dominica in the Caribbean, coming to Ipswich when I was 9, and having to live in a very racist kind of society when I was actually living quite happily back home in my
Mm,
little pleasure island.
mm,
That was a massive shift and challenge for me as a young girl growing up, you know, going to Westbourne High School. And so my poetry is about those times as well, you know.
yeah. So you see, we can relate to being in the same town. We can relate to the town. You know,
Yeah.
do you find that it's quite peaceful or disruptive, or it's settled, or just everybody's got their own little boxed off communities now? What do you think of
I think
what
this
it's like?
hasn't helped. The whole pandemic hasn't helped. We were starting to build a real community spirit, and I think we've kind of gone backwards now because of what's been going on. And that's what concerns me, really. We have to help enable people to still network and come together, whether it's virtual or not, because else all that work that we were doing to get people into community centres to share and exchange, we just don't want to go backwards, really. There's a lot of people who are isolated out there, and so we still have to encourage them to get on a Zoom, come on, you know, make a phone call.
Would
Don't be alone suffering. Pick up the phone.
Yeah, would you prefer to work online, or would you prefer to be back out there in the community? You
Well,
know,
now I am a Zoomer. I've got to say that I'd probably still do both, Kerry, because what I realized was there's a lot of people who have fed back to me that they still wouldn't have been able to come to a face-to-face course because of travel, because of children, because of mobility. So in a way, it's made me realize that there's need for both when we come out of this lockdown.
quite nice, isn't it? Sitting at
Yeah.
home, working from home,
Yeah.
a cup of coffee and a
People
bite of
can,
meat
yeah.
whenever you want. Hang on a minute, to speak to the postman and come back again.
Exactly.
You know,
And
it's
people are liking that, but
yeah,
what they are missing is that tactile, you know, when we hug and we say hi and we that exchange,
yeah,
the
yeah.
physical energy.
Well,
Sometimes people miss that.
I'm like, some people have still got they're still seeing clients, they're still going to buildings to see people and stuff, and like I'm saying, we knew we were going to aim for. We needed a
Hmm.
workshop, we needed a
Hmm.
drop-in centre, we needed a centre,
Hmm.
and that one centre that we could have had, mm, it's
Yeah.
been outstanding for a very long time. And really, to be honest, at the end of the day, if and when things do change and we need to pick up, we will talk about the impact of not having
Yeah.
the
I
the, the,
think
issue, the
we
things that we
definitely have to
need.
work together on that sense.
And absolutely. So, you know, oh
I'm
my,
more concerned at the moment. The younger people right now are dropping through the net. I would say that the need, you know, 17 to 25-year-olds, we've got to find a way of engaging them during COVID and the pandemic, really. They're slipping through the net if they're not attending school, and then, you know, they're at that age where they see themselves as young adults,
oh,
big people. And yeah,
I
parents
was,
are struggling with
I was
that
a
age
parent at
group
that
too.
age. See what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And that's what you're trying to sort of let's get a little bit of education, a little bit
yeah.
of life before we have these.
So we've got to
Things
get them
done.
engaged in health and well-being, because statistics show that they're experiencing a great deal of depression
I think
during this
there is
COVID
a way
lockdown.
around it. There is
Mm.
a way around it, and that is to offer a solution. And that is, for me, it is all about education, but it's not about let's use that. using that word education as a deterrent,
Yeah.
it can be a deterrent. But if you looked at it, hey, we're going to get you as early as young as you are now to understand business, because that's what I feel that the kids need to understand now. All through childhood, they would say to you, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Well, I never knew. I never knew what I want to be. They said you want to be a dancer, yeah, but you needed to be a certain build. So then, for you only homed in on that, or you put it down. Do you know what I mean? But nobody said to you about how to a business. I mean, I feel that you can teach these children. I've tried to get my granddaughter involved in learning history, education, and business, and that was
Absolutely. It's
interviewing
critical.
skills start off with. Because
It's
if these
critical.
children are going to be doing interviewing skills, they might as well start doing the interviewing skills and learning the business. Because after all, and this is the other thing that I said the other day, is if you are going to take away their education and then you know, 1 minute give them education, next minute take away their education, even if you're giving them education, what are they going into the world with if you're taking away their jobs? So we have to learn to do business online, and I think kids can do that now.
I mean, the Suffolk Black Community Forum has different strands, and one of them is business and economics, business and enterprise. And it is there's a program called InBiz, which is specifically around building the skills for young people, because really we've got to prepare them for this world where if they might not be able to get a job, they have to understand that they are the creators. They can create their own job. They don't have to ask anybody for anything, and we should be able to provide them with the tools. I mean, they're so talented, so creative, and we can think outside the box now and do things differently. You know, we also have criminal justice and rehabilitation task group that looks at stop and search. You know, all the stuff around inequalities.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the rehabilitation. When I project out what the mom does, mental health awareness, suicide, and I say prevention, and I say rehabilitation and crime prevention, it is about rehabilitation, because I was that child that was in and out of getting involved with the police. You know what I mean? For sometimes may not be my fault, and sometimes could have been my fault, but that's because I was a child from child care. Do you know what I mean? In and out of the care system. So living that kind of life, and then trying to have an education and deal with bullies as well, still bullies.
It's a lot to navigate, Kerry.
You never find your identity, and then your own home problems and your family. So it's almost like a job within a job when you're living as a human being. So I think
there's lots to do.
Has to come, and
I think you're right. The work you do, the work we do. I mean, sometimes what I learned very early on in my early teens is no one is going to do it for me. No one is going to do this work to address these inequalities but us. And that's what made me more determined and passionate about making sure I give up some time. Now, if I'm working 9 to 5, I'm sure I can give up 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week for my community. And that's what I've always done, you know. And yes, okay, you don't get paid for it, but I tell you something, it is so rewarding that is the payment. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. People don't understand the time given, the energy given to go and find those solutions and to have that knowledge to help somebody out of the situation. No, it doesn't fall down to payment. When even though you've got bills to pay and you've got things to get, and it helps with literature, etc., it's about that compassion. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the
empathy, to give back,
the understanding, and you can't put a value on human life.
Absolutely. And this came from one drama teacher. When I was at Westbourne School, I had a black drama teacher for 2 days. And she gave me a role in the drama that was not a cleaner or a mammy or a stereotypical black role. She gave me a role as a princess. And that raised my confidence so much. Just the impact, I mean, even remember it now, and now it's making me want to kind of, you know, get emotional, because she saw something in me that I didn't even see myself at that age. And she brought it out of me through drama. And that's what this is about for me. It's about enabling people to see their own talents and helping them to achieve those dreams, you know? So yeah, thank you for inviting me on.
So No, please. I mean, I could talk all day and on many other topics, so I'm sure that you'll come back again.
Will do. Will
Just,
do.
sorry. Just before we go, just another little reminder before we leave, and
Yes.
just because even if you're catching this date and it's like, oh, it's past, please don't think that it's not available. That information is still going to be available, even if this, ends the
Yep.
recording or whatever else. So I'm just going to bring that up one more time.
Okay.
So here we go. This is what the conversation was about, but you've got a lot more today from Imani. So
Yeah, thank you.
so
Yeah, go on Eventbrite and look for Walking Our Way to Wellness, and you'll see the link to get a ticket and come on. So it's on Tuesday the 23rd of February, 7:30 p.m. On Zoom, and then we'll send you a Zoom link once you book on.
right. And again, that won't be a one-off. You would do it again.
No, we're going to be doing more things. Yeah.
Need to rotate. I think that's the thing, isn't it? Even with like material, rotate it again, because some people might have missed it. So if people are willing to always come back and
thank you for inviting us, and we definitely will be back. Yeah.
Bring whoever you like.
We will. Thanks, Kerry.
Hold your best smile. You know how technology is.